Hi everyone and welcome back for part 2 of this geode painting. In case you did not see part 1, I suggest you go back there and watch this one first, because this will give you all the details and information that you will need for the preparation phase. So actually what I did until this point here, where you jumped into this video. In this video you will actually see how I pour the resin itself and how I make the design that you can see in the end of the video as always. And as there is not so much to say, I think I will let you hear some music along the go and let you watch. If you want to see, just jump forward until I talk again, or just mute me anyways. And before I play the music, this is something I want to address here, because these center stones were not fixed. You will have to put resin over them to make them stick to the surface, so otherwise everything will fall off in the end, you know? And if you want to have the color of your stones, just use clear resin. If you use a colored resin like I did, basically better you use a color that fits to the color of the stones, so somewhat family related. And of course, as I am not talking over the entire pouring scene here, if you have any questions left, leave me in the comments down below. I will be happy to answer them, or even better, have a look at my other resin geode paintings that I will link in the video here as well, because I made them more like a tutorial over the entire thing, but a bit shorter and crisper than I did in this video, because I got so many comments to show everything a bit slower than I normally do in the voiceover and sped up versions. So I decided to have this one rolling with the background music for those who want to see what I actually do along the way, so my processes and techniques. So enjoy! And after all the pouring and color manipulation, I always think about if I should add something else. If everything looks as I intended to, if the color feather out as I wanted, if there are areas which are boring to look at, so to nothing happening, I decide if I need to add something in addition or not. I really like the silver area. And when you have these metallic paints, they in a way create these shapes and forms on their own. This is caused by the metallic pigments. And as I've added here the white and a bit of the purple every now and then, it really looks really sweet. So it interacts pretty, it has some cells, it interlaces a bit. So I really like this one. I also liked how the middle section feathered out into the white. I extended this by using a straw and blowing the paint around a bit. But I still thought the white was really large and white. And I really was not sure if I should add something to this area or if I should not. I know for sure that I can add lines with some Posca markers in the end. So when everything is completely cured, you have these Posca markers or addings in case you don't have the Poscas. So Posca pens are basically paint in a pen which you can paint with or draw with, whatever you call it. And this is pretty sweet. They come in so many different colors and the pencils have so many different sizes. It works just great. But in case you don't have access to them, just use some adding markers. They come in white and black and silver and gold. So the most basic colors to use for such artworks, depending on the color scheme of course. But they work pretty much the same. But I was not sure at this stage, and as the resin was already halfway cured, I was not sure to add anything at all to it. I could have added something, it would have bound to the first layer of course, but I really was not sure. So I basically let it sit the way it was here until the next day. Although this resin is dry to the touch after about 4-ish hours, I always let it cure until the next day to have it really completely solid. But yeah, after 4 hours you can basically touch it without having fingerprints on there or dust falling on there sticking to it. So as long as it's wet and sticky, I put something over it, like a plastic box or paper box or something, just to avoid anything falling onto it. Yeah, and then just let it be. And when everything was cured, I opted for my Posca pens. So you can see me here using them, and I have them in many colors. I have them in the tiniest tip that I could get, which was a bad decision because I thought tiny is great, but sometimes size does matter, it seems. So next time I'm going to use the one with a larger tip because I have to paint these lines about 4 times to having them kind of thick and visible. So yeah, it was a bit stressy. But I used them, I painted my lines. And at this point I really was still not sure if this is the design and look that I wanted. I asked Patrick and he really liked it. I asked a couple of friends and they liked it as well. I thought about adding something in the white area still because it still looks a bit empty. I don't know. So majority vote. I asked you what you think about it, if you like the design, if you like the look. If you would have added something else, if you think I should add something else still. So this one was not sold yet, so I still could change it if the majority thinks I should do so. Or what do you think about the design in general? Did it motivate you to give it a try yourself? Did you do this yourself? And if you did, I would so much love to see what you created, so you can tag me on Instagram or on Facebook. You can sadly not show it here in YouTube, but you can tag me where you can find me. So my social media links are down below in the video description. And yeah, just contact me wherever you would like to. But anyways, when I kind of was happy with the design and liked what I see in front of me, I removed the tape. And this is something you can see me doing here in the video as well. Basically, you just untape it. It's no magic, only a little perhaps. So the tape peels off really great. It almost has no residues on the artwork itself. Sometimes we have some of the glue there, but you can remove it pretty easy. And that's it. The only issue that it leaves you behind with is the lip that the resin forms towards the tape. So when you remove it, you will have a lip for about 1 millimeter or so towards the tape, but there are different options that you can use. You can let it as it is, which normally does not look too bad if you have a single geode. In this part here, when I had 4 single parts of the geode, it looks a bit disturbing when I had these lips on every one of them. So you can leave them as is. You can use a cutter knife, which I did here, and cut them down. You can use sandpaper or file to sand them down. If you do so, use a respirator mask to protect yourself against the resin dust. Or you can decide to put a clear coat of resin over it, which of course will only work if the lip is persistent, so if it goes around the entire piece. If it doesn't and you have gaps in them, especially where your stones were sitting, you cannot use this, because otherwise the resin is going to flow over these gaps and you will not have everything sealed. So as I had this happening here on so many areas, I opted for cutting it down. You will not be able to cut it down completely even with the rest. Well, you could, but you will see where you've cut, and in the end it should not disturb anyways. And I think this was pretty much everything that I did for those little projects here. I hope it was kind of inspiring for you or motivated you to try it yourself. Again, if you do so, I would love to see what you created, what color palettes you chose, what design you used, everything. I like art. And also, as usual, let me know if you made it to the end of the video and watched it entirely through, and yeah, I would be so touched. Yeah. Thanks for this in advance. If you have any questions still remaining, please make sure to leave me in the comment section down below. Again, materials, social media links are in the video description. And of course, if you want to support me, I have just opened Patreon in the beginning of this month. And there is not much there yet. But I would love to have more people around to see what I can come up with and what we can create together. And yeah, I would be honored to see you there as well. Besides that, if you liked this video, if you liked the result, please give me a thumbs up. And if you're new, please also make sure to subscribe to my channel. It would mean really a lot to me, and share this video with everyone who know and might want to see it, because this would help my channel grow as well, which would be super much appreciated. Besides that, I thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for watching again. And other than that, I hope to see you in my next videos. Have a great day. Bye bye.